A good Friday morning, Quad Cities. Thanks for logging on to get a check of your forecast. We'll get you into the weekend here in a second. First, snowfall totals from some of your hometowns that we experienced yesterday. A very wet, heavy, slushy snow that accumulated to as much as nearly 6 inches in Milledgeville. Here in the Quad Cities, it's a split, about 4.5 in Davenport, 2.5 in Moline. Galesburg coming in on the low end as we expected with about an inch of slush on the ground. No snow today. We'll have plenty of clouds, a little bit of a breeze. Highs today right in the upper 30s to around 40. We will see a couple of breaks in the clouds overnight as readings drop into the upper 20s. And then as we go into the upcoming weekend, a new storm system on the horizon. So we'll go cloudy during the daylight hours, but increasing potential that a mix of rain and snow will start moving in here as we get closer to, say, the 4 or 5 o'clock hour tomorrow evening. So here's what that looks like on our high resolution future track model. 4 o'clock Saturday, rain just starting for Burlington, Mount Pleasant. It reaches the Quad Cities around 5. And then as the sun sets, we get that cooling effect in the atmosphere. We're losing the heating. So we quickly transition that rain over to snow by 7, 8 o'clock. Light snow will continue through about midnight. A couple of leftover snow showers Sunday morning. Then that system will be out of here. Now, it doesn't have nearly as much moisture and as much energy compared to the one we just went through yesterday. So snowfall amounts will be light. We're talking about a slushy inch here in the Quad Cities, lighter amounts to the east. I think a little heavier here to the west, though, where areas like Muscatine, Mount Pleasant, just west of Burlington, may pick up again another 2 to 3 inches of some wet, heavy snow. All of this active weather, including the rain and now the snow, has really wiped away the drought. This is the latest update that we got out yesterday. 82% of the area now free of any drought conditions, just hanging on to a little drought northwest of Wapello. But the concern continues to be with what's going on to the north of us, because the amount of snow sitting on the ground is definitely above the average in terms of this time of year. This is the departure from seasonal snowfall average. And notice Minneapolis, St. Paul here in the headwaters of the Mississippi River, about 2 feet above average in terms of snow, and all of that has yet to melt. So that's going to be critical. The melting, how fast it melts, and how much rain we get this spring to determine this, our risk for flooding. So that third and final outlook came out yesterday, and in fact, there's a great article right now on WQAD.com written by Morgan Strackbine. She's got the full breakdown of this, but I want to give you kind of a brief overview. There's now an 82% probability that the Mississippi River here in the Quad Cities will meet or exceed major flood stage. That's up significantly. It was 70% the last outlook. Also noticing numbers on the Rock River continuing to climb a little bit more, along with the Wapsie at DeWitt. But when you think about major flood stage here on the Mississippi River, some of you may jump to, oh, you're talking about that record level back in 2019. What's the probability of that? Well, specifically 22.7 feet, that has a probability of being reached at about 18%. So it's not a guarantee, but at this point, it is also not impossible. And that is why we will be tracking these river levels and, of course, the rain and snow melt very closely in the next several weeks. So there's the rest of your weekend. We're dry for Sunday, a little bit cooler, much cooler by Monday, but there is still a sizable warm-up waiting for us next week as we hit the 50s for our first hometown tour visit in Kewaunee next Wednesday.